Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. There's a storm brewing in Washington, and this one's not about playbooks or game plans. It's about loyalty, leadership, and one young quarterback who's had enough of the whispers. Jayden Daniels, the electric rookie who's been lighting up the field for the Commanders, has finally spoken up, and the football world can't stop talking about it. In a stunning revelation that sent shockwaves through locker rooms and sports networks alike, Daniels broke his silence with a statement that's as bold as his style of play. No one in this roster wants him back. Just like that, every camera turned, every mic pointed, and every analyst started guessing who exactly he was talking about. The tension, the drama, the sheer audacity of it. It's everything a fan could hope for and everything a franchise fears. Daniels didn't name names, but the message was loud enough to echo through the entire organization. When a rookie quarterback, the face of the team's future, speaks out like that, it's not just noise, it's a warning shot. Something's boiling inside the Commanders' locker room, and now everyone wants to know, who's the he that Jayden Daniels doesn't want back and why? What makes this moment so explosive is the timing. Jayden Daniels has been nothing short of spectacular on the field, showing poise beyond his years, carving through defenses with a mix of confidence and flair. The Commanders, for once, seem to have found hope in a player who could finally turn the franchise around. But behind the smiles, behind the touchdowns, something darker has been simmering. The way Daniels delivered that line wasn't rehearsed. It was raw, sharp, and fueled by something personal. Players around the league know that locker rooms are sacred places. What's said inside usually stays inside. But when that barrier breaks, when a star in the making decides to go public, it means there's been a serious breach of trust. Insiders close to the team hint that this tension has been growing for weeks, maybe even months. Reports of divided groups, subtle shade thrown in interviews, veterans feeling undermined, all of it creating a cocktail of chaos that finally spilled over. Daniel's statement wasn't just a reaction, it was an eruption. And judging by the way he said it, this is far from over. People are speculating that the he Daniels referred to might be a former leader, someone who once held the locker room together, but maybe held it too tightly. Could it be a veteran player who lost his grip on the team's respect? Could it even be a coach or coordinator whose influence still lingers despite being gone? Whatever the case, Daniels' words suggest a complete rejection from the current roster, a collective decision to move forward without looking back. Sources close to the Commanders have described growing frustration among players who feel that the old ways don't fit the new culture being built around Daniels' dynamic style. Some say it's a battle of eras, the young guns versus the remnants of a system that failed too many times before. And when a player like Jayden, who has instantly become the heart of the offense, decides to voice what others are only whispering, it's a sign that change isn't just wanted, it's demanded. This is no longer about a player leaving or staying. It's about who controls the future of the Commanders. It's wild to think how quickly the narrative flipped. Not long ago, Jayden Daniels was just trying to prove himself, a first-year quarterback trying to earn the locker room's respect. Now, he's setting the tone for what this team will or won't tolerate. Some fans see this as a moment of empowerment, a young leader refusing to bow down to the politics that have haunted Washington for years. Others see danger in it, warning that such bold statements can backfire, especially in a league that loves humility almost as much as it hates controversy. Yet there's no denying the ripple effect this has caused. Social media exploded within minutes of Daniels' comment going viral, with former players chiming in, analysts dissecting every syllable, and fans arguing whether this was bravery or immaturity. But the truth is, Daniels might have said what many were too afraid to admit. The Commanders have been stuck in a loop of false starts and locker room dysfunction for too long, and this outburst, intentional or not, might be the catalyst for something bigger. What makes this whole situation fascinating is how quiet the organization has been since the news broke. The front office hasn't issued a statement, the coaching staff has remained tight-lipped, and even the official team social media accounts have gone completely silent. That kind of silence in the NFL is rarely a good sign. It usually means the PR team is scrambling behind the scenes, trying to control a fire that's already raging out of their hands. If Daniels was wrong, someone from the inside would have rushed to correct the narrative, but the absence of any denial almost feels like confirmation. You can sense the tension even through the TV screen during interviews, the body language, the half-smiles, the forced positivity. It all feels like the calm before another major storm. And now fans are left to wonder, is this the beginning of a power shift in Washington, or the start of another implosion for a franchise that's seen more than its fair share of them? No matter which side you're on, one thing's certain: Jayden Daniels isn't just a quarterback anymore. He's a statement. He represents the new face of a team that's tired of excuses, tired of drama, and ready to rewrite its identity. But for that to happen, someone has to be pushed out, and someone has to stand up and take control. Daniels seems willing to be that person, even if it means ruffling feathers and shaking up the old order. The Commanders' locker room might never be the same after this. Every player, coach, and executive will now have to choose a side. Stick with the status quo or follow the rookie who's already proving he's more than just hype. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing's for sure. When Jayden Daniels said those words, he didn't just call someone out. He called out an entire culture. And whether you love him or hate him, that takes guts most players only dream of having. Now that the dust has started to settle, the real question is, what happens next? The Commanders are caught between chaos and opportunity. Jayden Daniels has forced the organization into a crossroads it can't ignore anymore. Either they back him and the new era he represents, or they risk losing the spark that's finally reignited the fan base. This kind of internal conflict isn't new to Washington. History shows that the franchise has struggled to maintain harmony behind closed doors. But what makes this different is the generational divide at play. Daniels symbolizes youth, change, and modern football. Whoever he's referring to, whether it's a former star or a veteran presence, embodies the old guard, the remnants of a team defined more by dysfunction than success. When Daniels said, "No one in this roster wants him back," it wasn't just a personal opinion. It was a declaration of independence, a moment where the locker room's loyalty officially shifted from the past to the future. And that's something the Commanders haven't seen in years: true leadership, even if it comes wrapped in controversy. Insiders are already saying this might reshape the team's entire hierarchy. Coaches are reevaluating roles, staff members are watching their words, and veterans are suddenly aware that the new generation isn't afraid to speak up. Daniels' voice carries weight now, and he knows it. In every interview since, his calm confidence has been impossible to miss. He doesn't seem rattled by the backlash or the headlines. In fact, he seems almost liberated, like he's finally said what needed to be said. The fans, too, are rallying behind him. Jerseys are selling out, social media clips are going viral, and even opposing players are chiming in with subtle nods of respect. Still, there's a fine line between being a leader and being labeled a troublemaker, and Daniels is walking it with precision. The difference is, he has the performance to back it up. As long as he keeps delivering on the field, the Commanders' front office will have no choice but to listen. And maybe, just maybe, this is exactly the shakeup they needed. But behind the scenes, tensions remain high. Rumors suggest that several key figures within the organization are furious with how this situation exploded. Some wanted the issue handled internally, through private meetings and controlled conversations. Others believe Daniels' outburst, while bold, was the only way to break the cycle of silence that's kept the Commanders stagnant for so long. It's a classic case of new school mentality clashing with old school discipline. What's fascinating is how the locker room seems to have quietly sided with Daniels. Players have been liking his posts, reposting his interviews, and subtly hinting that they're ready for a clean slate. If true, that unity could be the team's biggest weapon going forward. The NFL thrives on narratives, and right now, Jayden Daniels is writing his own. Whether he intended to or not, he's positioned himself as both the voice and the heartbeat of this roster. And while the media spins theories and fans argue, one thing is clear: the Commanders have found their leader, and he's not afraid to make enemies on the way to greatness. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. The player everyone believes Daniels was referring to still hasn't spoken publicly, which only fuels the fire. The silence feels deliberate, almost strategic. Maybe he's waiting for the right moment to respond, or maybe he knows that any statement now would only prove Daniels' point. Either way, the The suspense is keeping the entire football world on edge. This isn't just a locker room feud. It's turning into one of the most intriguing off-field dramas of the season. Sports talk shows are dissecting every clip, former teammates are whispering to reporters, and even rival players are secretly loving the chaos. Because at the end of the day, controversy sells. The Commanders, who have often struggled for national attention for all the wrong reasons, suddenly find themselves at the center of the sports universe. And in that spotlight stands Jayden Daniels, cool, composed, and unapologetic. Whatever happens next, he's already proven that he's not just playing the game, he's changing it from within. The truth is, this could go one of two ways. Either the Commanders implode under the weight of their own drama, or they come out stronger, more united, and more dangerous than ever. History suggests the former, but the energy around Daniels feels different. He's not just another hot-headed rookie looking for attention. He's a calculated, confident leader who understands the power of words. When he said, "No one in this roster wants him back," it wasn't just about exclusion. It was about drawing a line in the sand, defining what kind of team the Commanders will be from this point on. A team that prioritizes chemistry over ego, progress over nostalgia. If the front office is smart, they'll recognize this as a cultural reset rather than a scandal. Because once the dust settles and the headlines fade, what'll remain is a young leader who refused to stay silent in the face of complacency. And in a league built on character, that might just be his greatest weapon. For now, all eyes are on Washington. Every practice, every press conference, every sideline interaction will be analyzed for clues about where the locker room truly stands. But maybe that's the point. Maybe Jayden Daniels wanted this conversation to happen, wanted the truth to come out in the open so the team could finally confront it. If that's the case, it's a masterstroke of leadership disguised as controversy. The Commanders' future now hangs on how they handle this moment. They can choose to bury it, pretend it was just rookie frustration, or they can embrace it, rally around it, and finally build something real. One way or another, Jayden Daniels has changed the energy in Washington forever. And whether you agree with his delivery or not, you can't deny his impact. He's the kind of player who doesn't just play for headlines. He plays to redefine what leadership looks like in the modern NFL. And that's the kind of story that doesn't fade away. It evolves. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.